Hello everybody, and this is my weekly DVD watches, but I'm going to twirl around a little bit. I do have two Blu-rays to talk about. I think once a week now I'm going to watch Blu-rays on my PS3 because I'm running out of room on my shelf that I'm keeping them for the ones I didn't watch yet, so yeah, I have no choice. First one I watched was Master of Horror Season 1, Volume 4. This consists of Imprint, Homecoming, Heckle's Tale, and Chocolate. Um, Very good combination of uh, horror stories. I used to watch this all the time on, I believe it was HBO. This used to come out on, and yeah, it's very good. Imprint is about a girl has a scar on her face that um, which Billy Draco also acts into. Is pretty cool, um, and she's a more or less hooker, a Japanese old style hooker, and yeah. And Homecoming is about these undead warriors coming home just so they could vote and then show the people that the war is wrong. Crap. The next one is Heckle's Tale, which is about another one about zombies um, coming to life only at night. This woman falling in love with them, and yeah, going into the graveyard and fucking them all the time. And Chocolate, more about a tell you the truth, I never watched it. I wasn't paying attention to it. Didn't care for it too much. So yeah, if you see these combinations, I would pick them up. Would love to get the first 3 volumes. Next one is the Pagemaster, uh, childhood favorite of mine. Stars Macaulay Culkin and Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd was more famous for Back to the Future and those types of movie. Richard is a supernatural kid, not supernatural, super I cannot say that word today. Um, he's scared of everything, and when he goes to makes a trip to the library, he meets up with all these books and whatnot, and then he gets over all his fears, which is horror, adventure, and fantasy. And at the end, he has to face a big giant dragon, and he has to find the exit of the library to make it home. Very good movie. If you have kids or you're a big Macaulay Culkin fan or Christopher Lloyd fan, I would recommend watching it. Next one is the 13th Child, The Legend of the Jersey Devil. Story about the Jersey Devil, uh, how it reeked in the woods and everything like that. How it's been around for years. The detective comes across a man that lives not far from the woods, and the mystery just keeps going on and on. It does a little bit of story twist. I didn't care for the movie. I bought it mostly because of the cover when I did buy it. So yeah. Next one is Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. In my opinion, underrated film. A lot of people rip on this movie, and I don't know why. It's full of action. Um, like there's a lot of action into it still. Not as good as the second one. In my opinion, the second one is pretty good. Is pretty good, but like I said, it's the debate of which one is my favorite afterwards, the first one or this one. But to me, it's a very underrated movie. Um, and they're trying to stop the war from beginning again. What they did in the second one is just postpone it. So that's what they're trying to do in this one, is just stop the war from happening altogether. Zombieland. I forgot how much I liked this movie after I watched it again. I was very pleased to watch it again. It made me realize that I used to say a lot of things from it, like the double tap system when you're killing zombies. Yeah, I do play a lot of zombie games. Um, Woody Harrelson is very funny in this movie. Um, but yeah, if you haven't seen Zombieland, I would recommend going to get it. I think it's like $8 at Walmart now on Blu-ray, and I think this is in the $5 bin, so I would recommend going to get it. Uh, Mortal Kombat, big fan of the game, so when the movie came out many, many years ago, me and my friend went to go see it in the theaters. We were happy with it at the time, and now as a more older person, I realized that the story into it wasn't as good as the games, but it's still a Mortal Kombat game. They went their own direction. Um, in my opinion, this is the best one out of the two that came out. Next movie I watched was Rob Schneider in The Hot Chick. A girl puts on a pair of earrings and then wakes up one morning as a man, and vice versa type deal, which is pretty good comedy. I liked it. A lot of people rip on it and say it's not as good, not a good movie. I'm a big fan of Rob Schneider. I liked him in Big Stand, Benchwarmers, all those movies. So, of course, when I watched this one, I was expecting a good comedy. Best part is when he's the janitor and he's crying in the locker room, and then they look at him and he's like, "Someone shit in the locker." Very funny. A couple of other good scenes into it. So, these are the last two movies, and they're both kids' movies. Steven Spielberg's film of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Um, I didn't want to believe people on this one that they did change the movie, but it has both versions. It has the remastered version here, and then it has the version that Shakespeare Spielberg made. What they did was change the parts where the kids are coming down the hill and the cops are there holding guns at them. They changed them to walkie-talkies, which is kind of stupid, and I didn't want to believe it at first when South Park made fun of that. And then when I actually watched the movie, I had to rewatch it twice to actually see that. And then they added scenes to the new version, more CGI, whatnot. To me, they should have just left it alone, left it as the original movie. And I believe Spielberg was a little bit pissed off about when they did that. So, yeah, E.T., one of my favorite movies. Just if you're gonna watch it, I would recommend a theatrical re-release. And this is another one of my favorite movies as a kid. And when I seen it a couple of years ago, I had to pick it up. Hell, if I see Disney movies that I like, I still pick them up. A Bug's Life, Flick, Blue Ant. Well, all the ants are blue. Has to go out and find warrior bugs to face the grasshoppers. Um, Comes across a carnival bunch, and then eventually gets the carnival bunch to come with him, and then they face off against the grasshoppers. Very good kids movie if you haven't seen it with your kids, or like I said, if you're a Disney fan and you want to see a good movie or animation fan, I would recommend going to get this one. Well, that's what I watched this week. I should have another episode up next week. And I'm gonna have a pickups video this week. Everybody's gonna keep calling me a liar because every week I seem to have one. But I'm gonna try to cut back on my video game buying for a little while. Let the places I go stock up. So probably won't be much coming in on that half. So yeah, this is my DVD watches. I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you like what you see, please like my videos, share them, subscribe. Leave comments, anything. I would like to know what you're watching this week. Like I said, I watch a lot of old horror movies and a lot of older movies. So, yeah, you all take her easy, and I will catch you later.